After 8 years of silence, a solitary statement broke the quiet. Too bad for you. He ambled past our mother's grave as if it were a crack in the sidewalk. Still single at 40. I acquired the woman, the wealth, and the manor. He casually flicked his wrist, flashing a diamond against the gray sky. Hers? My ex-fiancé's. I fixated on them, my brother and the woman who was meant to be mine. Her gaze eluded me, but his? He basked in my immobility as if it validated his victory. I smiled subtly. Have you met my wife yet? Puzzled, he laughed. Then I called her name. As she approached, the one who had been the silent puppeteer behind each of my strategic moves, a hint of triumph played on his face. But when he realized that my wife was his ex, the one he abandoned in pursuit of opulence, his smirk crumbled. She wore my ring now. And his complexion? As pale as the lilies adorning Mom's casket. 8 years ago, I held two convictions dear, my brother's blood and her vow. I crafted something from nothing. A startup that became global, a life to offer, mine and hers. I wished to bestow it, give her the life she deserved. Purchased the ring, reserved a rooftop eatery, confided in my brother first, as one does when family matters. He responded with a smile. She's perfect, buddy. Indeed, she was, until the night she asked for space. Merely days before the proposal, I waited, gave her freedom, extended trust. She employed it to be unfaithful. I didn't discover this from her or him. Instead, my lawyer informed me when I requested a cohabitation agreement, and he hesitated, then sighed. Sir, you should know there's been a transfer of funds to your brother's account. From your joint one. That was when I scrutinized the situation more closely. The late nights, the furtive glances, the coincidental trips, they had deceived me. They assumed I was too engrossed in my startup to notice. Until their greed took over. I chose not to confront them then. No point, as they had already fled. Left the same day. No farewell, no words. Just silence and an empty wardrobe. Silence breeds growth, and I allowed it to flourish while observing attentively. A mansion I had once contemplated purchasing became their new home. Gradually, his name surfaced in trade publications, credited as the brains behind the brand. Remarkably, he maintained my original pitch deck without modifications. She accompanied him at interviews, gripping his arm as if it were a prize. People seem to embrace deception when it is adorned with love's guise. Revenge isn't fueled by rage. It's a product of patience and precision. I learned this lesson well. I subtly reorganized my business, secretly offloading shares through front companies. A fresh venture was launched under an alias. The technology we developed threatened to render his company obsolete within 5 years, possibly even sooner. Unbeknownst to him, he was preoccupied with playing the part for cameras and attempting to mimic cloud architecture expertise. Meanwhile, I tracked the developing fissures in their relationship. She favored private spas. He had gambling issues. Their union lacked a solid foundation, having been sewn together from pilfered materials. Then I encountered her, his previous lover, cast aside when she didn't fit the desired image. At a charity event, we first encountered each other, with her standing solo, an untouched wine glass beside her. I recognize you, she initiated. And I knew your past, was my response. Conversations ensued, followed by additional meetings, and eventually the creation of something authentic. We didn't begin with our wounds on display, but neither did we conceal them. When my mother departed, I assumed he wouldn't acknowledge my pain. However, it was a dramatic spectacle for him. The morning sun, the successful man, a role he eagerly took on, and couldn't resist needling me with. That's when I presented my spouse. Her smile was genuine, welcoming. He winced. So did she. My wife reached out her hand to greet him again. Nice to see you once more, she said politely. He shook it hesitantly, the same hand that once held a diamond ring for another woman. For the remainder of the day, he kept sneaking peeks at us, first at me and then at my wife. In time, I allowed the last string to snap. We found ourselves alone near the vehicles. He attempted humor, but his voice was feeble. I hear your business is facing challenges, I remarked. He dismissed it as false news. It's not fake, I retorted. It was just premature. I handed him an envelope labeled SEC questioned. Delighted. His hands shook. What on earth is this? Your ghost, I replied. All those quick cuts you made. The under-the-table arrangements. The phony evaluations. They come back to haunt. He scrutinized the documents. then turned towards me. Do you think this makes you superior? No, I answered. It merely cleanses. 3 months elapsed before the house was put up for sale. A tranquil bankruptcy. She abandoned him. Rumor has it she relocated to Spain. He attempted to reach me. I declined his calls. No need. The silence spoke volumes. Now, each morning, I rise beside the woman who saw through me, not just my offerings. We constructed a life based on truth. And it endures, not because it was pilfered, but because it was achieved. My brother imparted wisdom to me. Betrayal cracks you, yet it also exposes what lies beneath the facade. As for me, I mended. As for him, he's merely a footnote in a story he believed he authored. Some seize the crown, others rule as kings.